All over the world, more and more people continue to benefit from education. Education still remains the most important input for every dimension of sustainable development. A United Nations educational, scientific and cultural organization, UNESCO report states that access to education is steadily expanding. In many developing countries, enrollment in higher education has risen rapidly. Innovative literacy and adult education programs are transforming the lives of the disadvantaged across developing countries. However, millions of children globally are still unable to access education due to various socio-economic factors. The provision of quality education and training is a key pillar of the Government of Kenya's strategy for sustainable development. The Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations and adopted in the year 2015 have set quality education as goal number 4. Section 4C of the goal states that by the year 2030, there should be a substantial increase in the supply of qualified teachers, including through international cooperation for teacher training in developing countries. This is also in line with the aspirations of Kenya's Vision 2030 social pillar, which aims at improving the quality of life for all Kenyans in key social sectors, education and training among them. The Government of Kenya provides free and compulsory basic education that is equitable, qualitative and relevant to Kenya's development goals. This is guided by the principle of universal access to education for every child under 18 as enshrined in Article 53 of the Constitution.
Yes, Joshua?
Education is one of the rights that are conferred to children as per the Constitution of Kenya 2010. The Bill of Rights states that every child will be entitled to free and quality education regardless of their social condition, gender, regional background and disabilities. Globalization has seen the increased presence of international players in Kenya's education sector. One such player is the Global Partnership for Education, GPE. GPE offered a grant to the Ministry of Education under the supervision of the World Bank to support the development of primary education subsector in Kenya through the Primary Education Development PRIDE project.
The support from the World Bank, this being a PRIDE school, has greatly helped this school. We have purchased learning and teaching materials, and we have also improved the learning environment.
The funding by the Global Partnership for Education is aimed at supporting selected key strategic elements of the National Education Sector Plan, NESP, in improving early grade mathematics competency and strengthening management systems at school and national levels. These are the two areas that the World Bank is keen on through the Kenya Primary Education Development Project.
We are under the PRIDE project and also in the SIP, which is a component of the PRIDE project, and we have benefited from supplementary books and also repair of desks, which has helped so much in the improvement of the performance of the school.
It is within these project development objectives, PDOs, that teacher performance appraisal and development is being implemented. The Government of Kenya has prioritized the establishment of a professional teaching force. In view of this, the Teachers Service Commission, TSC, was established in July 1967 through an Act of Parliament as a semi-autonomous government agency under the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology. After the promulgation of the Constitution of Kenya in 2010, TSC acquired a new status as a constitutional commission with an expanded mandate. The Teacher Service Commission's functions are provided for under Article 237 of the Constitution of Kenya. In order to execute these teacher management functions, the Commission developed legal documents which include Tsc Act 2012, Code of Regulations 2015, and Code of Conduct and Ethics 2015.
The mandate and the functions of this Commission are well articulated by the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the Tsc Act 2012. These are further summed up in one main goal, namely to improve the quality of education and protect the rights of the Kenyan child within the learning environment. The reform agenda of the Commission is anchored on 4 pillars, namely, number 1, provision of quality education to the Kenyan child. Number 2, professionalization of the teaching service. Number 3, protection of the learners. And number 4, delivery of effective and efficient service at all levels.
To ensure that the Commission continues to provide strategic direction and leadership, a strategic plan 2019-2023 has been developed. The strategic plan has 3 pillars: teacher competence, conduct and performance management, reforms and innovations in the provision of teaching service, and service delivery, re-engineering and decentralization. The overall policy goal for these strategic pillars is to improve the quality of education and protect the rights of the Kenyan child within the learning environment, including monitoring the conduct and performance of teachers.
Provision of quality education is at the core of the Commission's agenda. And to achieve this, the Commission is currently professionalizing the teaching service through strengthening the mechanisms of delivery of quality teaching and learning services, effective curriculum supervision, and continuous professional development of the teachers. The Commission has achieved this in the teaching service by introducing performance contracting and teacher performance appraisal and development. Apart from evaluating the past performance, these tools are crucial in identifying and developing the potential performance of every teacher. And this enables teachers to remain motivated and to perform their duties to their full potential.
As part of the broader Public Sector Reform Programme 2003, the government adopted Result-Based Performance Management, RBPM. This was a key strategy aimed at improving efficiency and effectiveness in the management of the public service. This performance management approach entails undertaking performance contract and performance appraisal. TSC embraced this results-based management performance approach in the year 2005 for its secretariat staff. However, though teachers were employees of the Commission, they were excluded.
The Commission is mandated by the Constitution, Article 237, to review the standards of education and training for persons entering the teaching service. The Tsc Act further requires the Commission to facilitate career progression and professional development of teachers and to monitor the conduct and performance of learners. The Code of Regulations for Teachers provides for a framework for development and maintenance of teaching standards with clear guidelines for the procedures of quality assessment of teachers, continuous professional development, and performance appraisal. There is a robust legal and policy framework that guide and support institutionalization of performance management in the Commission.
The performance management approach was introduced to the teaching service in line with the Tsc Act and Code of Regulations for Teachers. The Tsc Act mandates the Commission to monitor the conduct and performance of teachers in the teaching service. Further to this, the Code of Regulation for Teachers requires TSC to develop and review criteria, guidelines and tools for performance management from time to time.
As a way of reforming the teaching service, there was need to adapt the best practice in the management of teachers. TSC had to ensure that teachers who are public officers are held accountable for their performance. A research was done which showed that there was an alarming rate of teachers' absenteeism and low teacher competence levels, leading to poor performance of learners in examinations. Then there was also lack of objectivity in evaluating teacher performance and management of school resources. This called for action. TSC decided to go the performance management way.
In this regard, Teacher Performance Appraisal and Development, TPAD, was developed as an instrument for teacher appraisal. The Tpad system is a performance evaluation mechanism that assesses the performance of a teacher as per the set standards prescribed by the Commission.
Before Tpad, there was no clear way in which the targets were set, and even the accountability and also the timeline. So people were just doing things without clear focus on what is needed to be achieved. Two, the relationship between the teacher and the appraiser was also a very key factor. For example, if you don't have a very good relationship with your appraiser, it could lead to a very low mark.
Before the introduction of Teacher Performance Appraisal and Development System, the Commission relied on confidential reports from heads of institutions to assess performance of teachers.
The confidential reports assessment was ineffective and unreliable. It had a lot of gaps. For example, teachers were not given an opportunity to give their views on their own performance. The system did not enhance communication between the teachers and supervisors. There was no room for negotiation for target setting. The heads of institution would dictate on the teachers what was to be achieved. So teachers could not make independent decisions.
It was upon this realization that the Teachers Service Commission developed an open appraisal instrument which was piloted for 2 years in public primary and secondary institutions across the country.
To address the challenges brought about by the previous evaluation method, TSC embarked on a 2-year pilot in 6 counties, that is Kwale, Kitui, Nyeri, Samburu, Kisumu and Uasin Gishu from 2013 to 2015. The appraisal was tested and customized in these counties. The Commission then used the findings of the pilot to come up with the Tpad system, which has been very successful to date.
The Commission then used the findings of the pilot to come up with the Tpad system, which has been very successful to date. Teachers are very enthusiastic about open appraisal as opposed to the confidential reporting that was previously used and has now been discarded.
Now I can plan my work as a teacher well. About time, I can manage my time very well.
Tpad has really organized my life. With the constant discussion with our head teacher, I find it running smoothly and I'm really a good teacher.
When the Tpad was rolled out, my reaction was good, was positive. Because when I looked at the content of the Tpad, I saw professionalism in it.
Heads of institutions play a very crucial role in the implementation of Tpad and performance contracting.
We have fully institutionalized the Tpad in our institution. We have embraced it. In our first staff meetings, we normally discuss the Tpad calendar, guided by the calendar provided by the Teacher Service Commission. And from there, we give targets to the teacher. So we discuss them. And then from there, we now start the process of evaluation of the teacher. And at the end of the term is when we do the final evaluation. We do it as given by the guidelines. We have the lesson observation throughout the term. We also have lesson attendance registers for the teachers, which are marked by the class secretaries, and at the end of the week, I take them as the deputy principal, do the summaries and give feedback to the principal of the school.
As a class secretary, first I extract the class timetable from the master timetable and pin it in class. Then for the lesson attendance, I have a control sheet which I mark the teacher's time in and time out. Then I submit those records to the deputy.
We requested that you organize the documents that are required.
Since it was developed, TPAD has played a major role in influencing teachers' performance.
You are doing for the benefit of the learner.
With TPAD, I'm able to identify my areas of weakness and provide solutions. And I'm able to handle my responsibilities in a better way.
TPAD has really made a difference in me as a teacher. First, it has helped me gain confidence in what I do and made me more accountable to what I do. Secondly, it has also helped me be able to have some good relationship with my colleagues, especially through team teaching. And in addition to that, I've also been able to integrate ICT in my teaching and learning. In addition, I've been able to improvise teaching and learning materials through the use of materials.
Professional associations also have a major role to play in ensuring that education standards are maintained in Kenya.
KEPSHA, that is Kenya Primary School Hands Association, our role is to make sure that the learning and teaching is done well in our primary schools. We also encourage our members to use the appraisal tool to improve teaching and learning in our schools. We do it by organizing conferences, workshops, and cluster meetings. It is a very good administration tool.
Kenya Secondary School Heads Association represents all principals in this nation. It plays a very important role in education. It supports an appraisal system that is fair to its members. Through the appraisal systems, the teaching standards have been improved. The performance contracting the principals sign with the employer is meant to achieve this.
Teaching standards in the TPAD tool are a clear expression of the basic expectations for the professional practice and conduct of teachers. It defines the minimum level of practice expected of teachers in Kenya. Teachers are expected to use the teaching standards to support their own professional development, planning, teaching, and learning programs. They also use the standards for assessing learners' progress. TSC has prescribed TPAD teaching standards which form the benchmark for which teacher performance is assessed.
Assume that is your mirror. We are looking at our mirror.
Currently, the one that we are using are 7 standards. We have professional knowledge and application, we have time management, we have innovation and creativity, we have collaboration with the stakeholders, for example, with the parents, we have promotion of co-curricular activities, we have learner protection and discipline in the school. Those are among the kind of standards that currently we are checking among the teachers. After doing a lot of monitoring, discussing with the stakeholders, discussing with the teachers, discussing at our commission level, we realized we needed to revise TPAD. And we revised, and we are now working on a new TPAD, which will only have 3 parts. The first one is instruction on delivery. The second one is teacher conduct and professionalism, then community of practice.
Lesson observation is a crucial part of the TPAD system and adds to the final score at the end of the appraisal process. The teacher is observed by their appraiser in class to see how lesson delivery is being done through the use of teaching aids and interaction with the pupils. The teacher is then given feedback on how to improve on their delivery.
Good use of demonstration, that's why you're demonstrating, and learners are actively involved.
Teachers Service Commission county directors perform different roles in the performance management.
The first role is signing of PC on behalf of the Secretary, TSC, with all the heads of institutions. Secondly, sensitizing field officers and heads of institution on performance contract. Thirdly, receiving and verifying evidence on PC and target implementation. And lastly, documenting evidence on summary of heads on their achievement on PC targets.
One of our key issues is continuous monitoring of the programs in our institutions. Then two, we also capacity build and sensitize our teachers and the field officers on the same. And when all this is done, then we have the reports from the institutions and from the field officers, which are compiled in this particular office, and then I forwarded the same to the headquarters.
Tsc County Directors are also in charge of performance contracting for heads of institutions.
I ensure that every head teacher signs the performance contract in the presence of the curriculum support officers and the sub-county directors. After they have signed, on behalf of Teacher Service Commission, I do also sign those performance contracts.
We also sensitize the officers and the heads of institution on the implementation of the PC. I receive and verify evidence on the performance contract target implementation. Then I document and summarize the reports on achievements of the performance contract.
Tpad has enhanced curriculum development in the counties.
Tpad has increased curriculum delivery in that it has increased contact time between the learners and the teachers. Number two, the teachers have gotten the skills to deliver.
Now we are able to monitor each other when we go to class, and after that we sit down, look at what we have done, and be able to say this is where I have not done well.
Unlike in the past, whereby the teacher could be assessed what he could not know, nowadays the voice of the teacher can be well heard through the specific of the standards.
The performance appraisal does not only evaluate and rate teachers, but also provides mechanisms to support and improve teaching competencies.
There is a lot of benefit because here we are gaining the teacher's confidence, and apart from that also, we are having the teacher having what we call the moments of self-reflection. When they're able to realize the challenges they had, they look also for solutions, and at the same time also we can advise them where they can improve on.
After identifying their individual gaps, teachers are required to plan on how to address the gaps.
But the gaps can be addressed at the individual level. Number two, they can be addressed at the institutional level. So we have institutions who say, it seems like we have a common gap, or some cross-cutting gap, and therefore they put up measures to deal with that gap. And if there's a gap which we feel as a county cuts across the whole county, then we also mount programs to be able to support the teachers to address those gaps.
Appraisal has brought a lot of order, and there is a lot of transparency because victimization would arise. You don't know what maybe the head teacher is looking at to appraise you, but today I know.
In addition, heads of institution are supposed to come up with a school support and development plan for teachers.
It has helped me a lot by sitting with my teachers freely and also trying to identify areas where it needs attention, especially maybe areas of identifying the gaps. And then we know how now to improve on that.
Whereas Tpad focuses on effectiveness of curriculum delivery, performance contracting for heads of institutions enhances accountability in management of educational resources, quality of service and teaching, and learning environment at the school level.
Let's look at your performance contract.
The performance contract is guided by the National Performance Contracting Guidelines. The guidelines provide criteria and indicators against which public institutions are evaluated at the end of each contract period. The PC outlines performance areas under which targets are set. Every head of institution is expected to develop a school operational work plan which demonstrates how the set targets will be achieved.
Teachers and the head teacher they set the performance targets based on the Tpad calendar that we provide as Teacher Service Commission. And basically, the setting of targets is a negotiated approach. And at the end of the term, first of all, the teacher sits alone and appraises themselves, and then the appraiser also appraises them based on a negotiated discussion. This is where they need to produce evidence in order to be able to say, I actually was able to achieve this target, this target, this target.
The PC and Tpad processes are a continuous avenue and opportunity for giving feedback, guiding and providing support.
Our management tool that help us to ensure management is effective one is performance contract. A document that we sign with the county director, whereby I'm able to tell the county director my target in terms of financial management, by when should my book account be audited. Then the Tpad tool itself, where teachers develop a system where we supervise their schemes, lesson plan, and we gather evidence. Tpad is a system which gives a teacher a chance to showcase what to do best. Because before Tpad came, we were doing it, but today we only document what we normally do.
In order to improve on instructional supervision and curriculum delivery, the Commission has decentralized some of its functions. This is provided for under the third pillar of the Tsc strategic plan. The Commission is keen on listening to its clients, especially teachers, on matters related to policy formulation and implementation.
One of the critical aspects of the success of Tpad is the monitoring and evaluation exercise that the Commission usually carries every term. We form teams that will be able to move around the country. Each team is headed by a commissioner, and they go to a number of counties, and when they go to every county, they visit institutions.
Over the last 3 years of implementation of Tpad and PC by the Teachers Service Commission, significant achievements have been realized. Tpad has had numerous benefits. Teachers now view appraisal as a reward rather than a punishment.
You are responsible for what you're doing. Yes. You have confidence. You can give an account.
The immediate feedback mechanism has also made Tpad to be more interactive.
There is less absenteeism. Teachers have become more punctual to attendance of duties and lessons. Teachers are now able to effectively implement the curriculum. And the use of professional documents has improved indicating teacher preparedness. Most teachers are developing lesson plans, are preparing lesson notes and schemes of work and learners' progress records. Teachers have become more sensitive on issues concerning the safety and welfare of learners. This has therefore led to conducive and safe learning environment. Heads of institutions have also become better financial managers, and this has led to careful use of educational resources, and it has enhanced quality education. Heads of institutions have also improved their managerial skills because the PC and Tpad have made it easier for them to monitor performance of duty by teachers. And the tools have also strengthened teamwork and collaboration between institutional administrators, teachers, learners, key stakeholders, and among teachers themselves.
Teachers are engaging more with us, and this helps in making learning easier. We have framed it to our teachers. We are learning in friendly environment. We are happy that we are now closer to our teachers.
At the beginning of the year, the head teacher engages us in planning for the whole year. And by extension, the teachers benefit so much from this planning. We are able to say we are happy as a school because the planning and the results come out from the teachers.
Just like any other system, the Tpad system has faced issues that have been promptly addressed by the TSC.
To address performance management challenges, the Commission is continuously training all Tpad implementers. It is also reviewing the Tpad tools and teaching standards to address emerging issues. We have also come up with a new Tpad online system, which is more user-friendly and flexible. Teachers can now upload appraisal data offline and then submit it once they access network. With the time, we intend to make the whole process paperless.
Teacher Performance Appraisal and Development System is a very big initiative that is meant to reach the 330,000 teachers across the country.
As stated in the vision statement, the future of the Commission is to be a transformative teaching service for quality education. This transformative agenda will be achieved by creating a professional, committed, and vibrant teaching service while harnessing innovation and technology in service delivery and teaching and learning processes. We will continue to review and initiate policies meant to develop the potential of every teacher to the fullest, so they will in turn offer the best quality education to our children with utmost professionalism.
The TSC continues to be a key player in transforming the teaching service for quality education in Kenya. A major element of these reforms is to enhance the quality of the teaching service by improving the professional capacity and conduct of teachers and providing them with the necessary support. Ultimately, this will contribute to improved quality of education in public educational institutions. TSC will continue safeguarding transformative teaching service for quality education.
You will like it. You will love it. You will like it. You will love it.
Motivate you. Tpad. Tpad will help you develop professionally.
Tpad will help you plan for your personal development.
I must say, Tpad will help you handle your responsibilities in a better way.